Wingy Boxing IFL TV in association with MTK Global. We are here at the Selby-Warrington Undercard Press Conference. I just bumped into Francis Warren. What's going on, Francis? How you been?
Just have to quickly say, you had a lucky escape yesterday. Sending Coogan to do that was probably the best career move you've ever made.
Oh, you heard about that?
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was.
I'm glad you're up here.
Yeah. How you been? Everything been good?
All good. Yeah, very much looking forward to Saturday. Really nice public workout yesterday. Nice and busy at the shopping centre with Josh. Got a great reception as expected. Lee got a terrible reception as expected, but you know, played the game yesterday. Lee just sort of stayed behind and did his autographs and photographs and things like that. So it was good. And, good to see O'Hara back as well. He's looking sharp. Nicola Adams, Jack Cattrall. You know, it's a great card we've got on Saturday.
How do you feel about the sort of acquisition of fighters that your dad's got now for the stable? It's looking really serious, isn't it?
It's a very, very, very strong stable. It's the strongest stable quality-wise in the country. You know, you look at the top of the guys. The top guys we've got. You know, you've got obviously Lee and Josh on Saturday, Carl Frampton, Tyson Fury, Billy Joe Saunders, Liam Smith. And then you know you've got the guys who are on the cusp of just getting there up to that sort of level, and you know there's far too many to mention. But you know you see, you know Liam Williams will be knocking on the door again soon. Jack O'Hara. So you know it's a very, very strong stable, and obviously Anthony Yard as well, and you know and the youngsters coming through as well. Top. Well, the biggest guy we've got coming through is Daniel, obviously.
There's so much talent because you're saying all these names. I'm thinking which fighter to talk about. Okay, let's.
Well, we got half hour.
We got a bit. Yeah, that's why I got it early. Let's speak about O'Hara. What did you think about? Obviously, we're not going to go back on the controversy, but what did you think about sort of like your father and you guys taking him on? Was you like, this could be a little bit risky for us, or are you going to let him speak, do his thing? Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, because I know O'Hara. You know, I don't know him really, really well, but I know him well enough to say that he's a gent, he's a good guy, and whatever apparent mistakes that may appear to have been his mistakes, you know, we all know what the reasons behind as to why he's putting certain things out on social media, and he got asked to do certain things, which I think probably in hindsight he should have just said no, and he knows that, but he's a good guy, and he's a very talented fighter. And I think this is chapter 2, and he's going to be successful. What's
the situation with you with regards to BoxNation, Queensbury? Where do you fit into this as Francis?
As Francis, on the boxer's side.
Okay.
You know, very much from the boxer's side. You know, just making sure these guys are guided properly, and you know, making sure the relationship between Queensbury and the boxers and the managers is kept strong. And
what do you think about this big sort of BT deal? What's the situation with BoxNation?
It's the best TV deal out
there. That's what a lot of people are asking. So I want to know, as a BoxNation customer, are we still going to get Frank Warren fighters on BoxNation, or has that not all been finalised yet? What's the situation, or is it going to go to BT?
There's a few things still to be
ironed out. Yeah, okay.
So you know, I think.
Will you be announcing that?
It'll be announcing that in due course. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. And what are your thoughts on the big Eddie Hearn $1 billion deal and DAZN and all of that? What's your personal thoughts? There's a lot of talk about it, isn't it?
It's a subscription service, and for I think there's certain quotes made by certain staff at Matchroom when BoxNation was launched, saying that will never work. A subscription channel would never work. So it's worked. So you know, people follow for success, and BoxNation has been successful, and they're going to try it online in the States. Listen. There's every chance it will be a success, and you know, as long as the right fighters are signed and the right fights are made, people will watch it. We've seen that boxing is very, very strong globally, and you know, it's a subscription service does work.
Do you agree when I say when I've said in the past, like when
but the $1 billion thing?
Come on. when you obviously Frank sort of had this good stable, the BT announcement, Tyson Fury, and now Eddie's doing this. It's good for us, isn't it, us as fans, because you guys are going to think, right, we're going to get them in a competitive sort of way, isn't it? Yeah.
It's all about the fans. It's making sure that the boxing is delivered to the fans at a fair price. The right fights are made, competitive fights are made, and we can develop fighters to entertain everybody. You know, that's what it is, and make sure that the fighters are financially secure, and people are getting value for money.
What's next for Tyson?
That's the key, value for money.
Value for
Not
money.
just one fight on the card.
Right.
Value for money, all the way down.
It's all kicking off. What's the situation with Tyson Fury's opponent? Do we know?
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
When's there going to be an announcement on that?
In the next week or so.
Next week or so. Okay. And what are your thoughts on the fight, the Selby-Warrington fight? How do you think that's going to play out?
Well, it's a tough one to call, and I'm not going to call it.
Okay. Going to sit on the fence politically.
I'll go through a couple of the strengths of the guys. Obviously, Lee's a terrific fighter, a terrific boxer, I should say, more of a fighter. But he can dig in there. You know, he's got a serious character behind him. Obviously, he had the very tragic news of his passing of his mother, and a couple of days later defended his world title without a hesitation.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So you know, he's got the character to do that sort of thing, which would be well beyond me. You know, how you could pick yourself up and do that. Josh is just a warrior, and he can box, he can brawl, and he can punch, as you showed against Salem. You know, he can finish people. So it really is who turns up on the night. And if both guys are at 100%, we're in for a terrific fight. If one guy turns up at 100% and the other one's at 90%, there's your winner.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. And it's the crowd as well. That's been spoke about a lot, hasn't it? As in, it's going to, not even necessarily lift. Well, some people say it might lift Warrington. Some people say it could have an effect on Selby. Do you think that's going to play in, or will it just come down to the skill at the end of the day?
It's difficult because some people thrive on being not the bad guy, but being the sort of underdog. And the bookies have Lee as a favourite, but obviously in this stadium, he's the guy who everyone wants to lose.
Yeah.
You know, all the fans in the stadium will be there for Josh. So Lee may be the type of guy that wants to prove 20 odd thousand people wrong.
Right. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
But Josh is the type of guy that wants to please 20 odd thousand. So you've got all these different permutations, all these different possibilities as to how the fight can play out. But you know, I've just said it, and I'm going to say it again. All we do know is it's going to be a cracking fight. It's going to be a terrific fight.
And can I just get your opinions on just as a boxing fan, on this whole situation with Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, the offer of 50 million? I know it's not your stable, but you can still talk about it, can't you?
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Do you think the fight's going to happen? Do you think this 50 million should be taken? We're still waiting to find what's going on.
If 50 million and a guarantee of 50 million is put in front of Anthony, I would have thought he'd be rushing for his pen. Yeah. Because, you know, obviously on top of that there'd be upsides and all the rest of it. So offers can get thrown around. It's just, you know, it's about, you know, making sure those offers are real, and not wasting time. It's a great fight. I'd love to watch that fight.
You know, 50 million. If you guys want Wingy on BoxNation, then 50 quid will do me. I'll be fine. Kid. Thank you very much, Francis, for speaking to Wingy Boxing and IFL TV. Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate.